Best.Podcast.Ever is sponsored by the Gertzberg Law Firm, a full-service business law firm in Cleveland and Chagrin Falls that's changing the way businesses retain their attorneys. Go to gertzberglaw.com to learn more. While you're there, check out Cover My Six, a complete legal audit of the 6 areas that most often create or prevent business lawsuits and government investigations. Go to covermysix.com to learn how we keep you safe. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to listen to the best podcast ever recorded.
I tell a lot of people you can't teach hustle at all. Can't teach hustle, can't buy loyalty.
Amen.
Hi, Molly Gebler.
Hi, Alex. Wow, that was quite a welcome or a start or whatever you were.
The 5-second delay.
Oh, gotcha.
Nelly was, yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired.
You are?
I don't know if it's the revert or the fallback. I don't know. I'm just tired. I can't seem to catch up.
You know, you're the second person that said that today. And I wonder if getting an extra hour of sleep throws your body off a little bit.
I think so. I'm drinking a drink with some lemonade in it, and it's called virgin lemonade. Does it make me go back to a virgin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what it does?
You get to have kids all over again.
So, how was your week or weekend? Anything good? You're gonna vote. Obviously,
for sure.
It's not. Yeah. You're hearing this after voting. I hope you voted, but I am so freaking ready for this to be done. This has been the worst year, just as phone calls, text messages, the commercials are just.
See.
I don't understand, and you don't watch a lot of live.
Yeah, I watch nothing live.
But even with Hulu and even with those, I get the ads.
I have started seeing them on the streaming services and on YouTube and stuff, but I don't know. I started to tune them out, and I have gotten text messages.
So mean and nasty.
Yeah. They are, but it's like that every election cycle, and it's only getting worse.
I'm done, and I don't know who approved these big signs. Like there should be every city and village and township has every rule for everything else in their world. Why can't we say your political sign can only be blah 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 by blah blah blah?
You want me to tell you the answer to that?
Yes, you can't because it's your right to vote or something.
No, because I guarantee there was a ton of First Amendment litigation. I'm sure that issue has been litigated many times. And what it is I remember I went into this in law school in a law review article, the restrictions that you put on. So basically here's a little 101 for you. I'll be quick. So there are every place that is government owned, meaning not owned by a private person, is considered either a public forum or a non-public forum. And a public forum means that it gets special protection. So people can picket, people can say whatever they want there, people can put whatever signs they are there. And the only restrictions that the government can put in a public forum are ones that are like, they have to be strictly construed and they have to be reasonably related to some, public interest or something like that. It's really hard for the government to regulate what happens in a public forum.
Interesting.
There you go, Molly.
Interesting, considering my business home is in a public, right?
No, your business. So that's a great question. So that's a government-owned building.
Correct.
But my guess is that would be considered a non-public forum for speech purposes.
Okay.
Now the sidewalk out front probably is a public.
There has been many amazing speeches out front.
Yeah, that's probably considered a public forum. Okay. And then there's like traditional public forums, and then there's other kinds, like government-owned buildings, like a prison would not be considered a public forum.
Okay,
gotcha. Or a traditional public. Anyway,
right. Oh,
there you go. This has been constitutional talk.
We'll see you later because you've all learned something now.
Well, by the time
is done.
The thing is, by the time people are hearing this, they too, I'm sure, will share your relief and mine.
No, because then there'll be a whole nother bunch of bullshit at that point.
That's right.
There's going to be a loser and there's going to be a winner. And then we're going to have to hear about it for the next 6 months.
I agree with you. That is true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then that'll roll right into pumpkin roll time. So
Yeah.
we'll be bitching about that all over again, and then the cycle will continue.
I mean, without really getting into like topics that I know you don't like talking about, I actually have been thinking a lot about whether the animosity and hatred and contentiousness that is in politics today, that there's ever a way out of it at this point.
Yeah, I think it's really the listening. You have your side and I have my side, and the respect of that.
Right. Like, so I think that you and I are grown-ups and we love each other, and we would never throw politics in the other one's face in a way that insults them. Right.
Right.
But the problem is you and I watch TV and watch debates and read those signs on the highway and whatever.
Watch those dumb
and
commercials.
the people who write all of that stuff, a lot of them, their sole job is to piss us off.
Yeah.
And those guys are not going away.
Right.
I'm kind of like despondent about it because I think that so long as the people who write the copy are professional marketing, professional psychologists.
Shockers.
Yeah. Whose job it is to push our buttons, so long as they're doing what they're doing. And I think that they always will.
Yeah.
Then it's never going to be quiet and calm. There's never going to be really just respectful debates. Now, a lot of historians would say it's never been respectful, right? Like, so apparently, like, the Hamilton and Jefferson and John Adams, like, they were accusing each other of sleeping with animals, right? Back then, it was really ugly.
Right.
But I still think it's gotten way worse because now it's all internet based and hitting and it spews out at the touch of a button. And a lot of it is bullshit.
Right.
But
right.
not that they slept with animals.
I totally agree.
Like, there is definitely a lot of fake news coming from everywhere.
And I think there always was. I think that the world is and was as bad as it is today. It's just we see it more. We can be tuned to it at a fingertip.
Yeah.
I laugh at the comments that people say that, this is the worst the country has ever been.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I mean, I just don't think so.
Well, there is I think
ask a Vietnam vet
if
he thinks this is the worst our country has been when he came home and was spit on. He probably would say that was probably the worst time.
Yeah, but I bet you a Vietnam vet would still say the country's going to hell faster than it did.
I think we're
I think every generation thinks that.
Yeah, I just think that it's just continuing on. There's bad people and there's good people.
Well, what would be interesting, I'll fast forward you 20 years from now, right? Because I got some theories.
Okay. We'll meet back here in 20 years.
Well, we'll
still be doing this.
So
podcast.
there is this sociologist, real famous one. Cheers, Molly. What are we drinking here, Molly? You want to talk about it?
We're drinking FLŌH Vodka.
What a coincidence!
I'll tell you, I have to talk. Our guest today is the owner of FLŌH Vodka, and I have to ask him because we literally have just. Everything is FLŌH Vodka is the official vodka to anything I'm doing. And I need to know if he's cool with that. And I always say, well, it's self, I've deemed it myself. But we made a commercial the other day, and then we'll get back to your theory. Jessica and I made a commercial for him. It's just out of the blue. I said something like, oh my gosh, get your FLOH shot.
Ooh.
And how perfect would that be? So Jessica and I literally made a commercial.
And you sent it to him?
We sent it to him. It's Jessica sneezing and coughing. And I'm like, Jess, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, I'm sick. And I said, oh my gosh, you know what you need? You need your FLOH shots.
That's fascinating.
I sent it to him on Saturday. I haven't heard either they completely hated it.
But you're saying that FLOH Vodka is also like your official vodka of like you doing dishes or something like that, right?
It's the I've said it here on this podcast.
Yes.
I've said it at any chamber events. They're the official vodka of the Chagrin Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
I say it all the time.
All right. can already hear Nellie yelling at us about the Planters Peanuts wrapper that took you 8 minutes to open just now.
This is very hard we tape these just for our listeners. We tape this at 5:00.
Yeah.
And my belly's ready for a little
time.
And peanuts and vodka. I mean, isn't that
what is it?
Oh, darn it. I had flourless chocolate cake that Jaques brought me in the car for us.
Oh, man.
Dang it.
It just sounded like you said penis and vodka. When in reality,
my virgin lemonade and my penis and vodka.
Throwing nuts in your mouth.
All right, so what's your 20-year...
Boy, we really know how to dumb down a conversation.
Well, this whole thing already has to be, I've thrown out the F word, so there has to be an explicit on here. So your 20-year prediction.
So there was this sociologist in like the 50s. His name was...
I'm 130 pounds at that point.
Okay.
In
the 50s? Were you alive in the 50s?
20 years from now.
Oh, 20 years from now? Oh, right on. 130. Is that a lot?
Right on.
Yeah. Why are you so easily amused by that? I say right on all the time. Okay. All right, listen to me. There's this dude, Jeremy Bentham, who was a sociology professor or sociologist, and fun fact about Jeremy Bentham, his body has been mummified and is wheeled out to board of directors meetings of Harvard.
Stop it.
Yeah, because he gave so much money to them. And he said,
I think you did talk about this
Not Harvard, Oxford University.
I think you've talked about this.
Yeah, he said, you can have all my money, but you have to wheel me out for every board of directors meeting. Anyway, Jeremy Bentham said that society will be constantly breaking down into more and more groups, right? And the reason for that is because it'll be constantly easier to communicate with other people who are like you. Right. So, and he said this at a time before fax machines and emails and internet. Right.
But isn't that contradicting his comment?
No. See, so here's the theory. Right. Is the faster that information travels, the more people A, feel like they are not alone, and B, are able to communicate more creative variations of their ideas and mutations of their ideas. So, for example, in the 50s, when it took days to communicate in writing to somebody, most gay people were in the closet, right? Because they didn't know any other gay people.
Right.
And as time went on and communication...
I don't know, I wasn't born, but yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty obvious, right? Like, I mean, and in fact, not only were gay people in the closet, but they were really, really persecuted in a way that they aren't today, right? And so as communication evolved, according to Jeremy Bentham's theory, and people were able to communicate faster with each other.
Groups or
Exactly. So then what happens is not only do more people come out of the closet, but there's also this proliferation of different kinds of, sexual orientations and fetishes and things that are way different than just gay or straight, right? There's so many more varieties of things that weren't considered acceptable back then, right? Which is why now, when everything is internet-based and at the touch of a button you can communicate or research anything, you can find any fetish. Right. So it's more of a question 20 years from now, right?
Taking a long way to get there, Chief.
I think what happens is you won't even need smartphones to be on the internet or to communicate with somebody. It'll be like an earpiece and, a thought, right? And as more and more subgroups are created, I keep coming back to fetishes, and I don't know why, but what fetishes are going to be around 20 years from now that aren't today?
Into that.
I know. But presumably there will be subgroups 20 years from now that don't even exist today, or that do exist today, but that aren't considered, sufficient for public airwaves or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anyway, you'll let me know what you're into 20 years from now, Molly. And
I won't let you know now, and I won't let you know then.
I think I know what you're going to be into 20 years from now. And I don't want to talk about it because
peanuts.
Virgin penis. Oh my goodness.
We missed you last week, but shout out to my co-host Nellie.
Yeah. 2 in a row she did as co-host because she was with Pam Turos.
Right. Boy, did you miss.
I know.
Oh,
it
Alex.
sounds like it was awesome.
Oh,
I can't wait to listen to it. I can't wait for you to listen to Pam's.
Back.
Yeah.
For sure. We didn't even scratch the surface. Didn't even scratch the surface.
I look forward to.
And he just brought things, and we got to touch gold albums, and wow, crazy.
Sounds fantastic.
It was, but we keep up the caliber of guests with our next guest tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah.
FLŌH Vodka.
Jacques. Now, how do you know? Well, so first of all, let's read out his bio here for just a second. He is the proprietor and founder of FLŌH Spirits LLC. FLŌH Vodka. It's gluten-free, allergen-free, kosher, seal certified vodka.
He's the best. He's my buddy. You can't.
So how'd you meet him?
So it's actually funny. When Jessica came to work at the chamber office, we were in the process of planning the annual awards event. And she said...
Was this the one where I was the chamber member of the year?
Correct.
Thanks,
correct. Mom. Yes, thank you. And so we were just looking for something kind of amazing to have there, an addition this year. And Jessica said, I was at this amazing wedding. She worked as a side hustle for Rock the House. So she was doing serving. And so she showed me these pictures of this champagne dress from this wedding. Well, it ended up being Jacques' wedding. And
I remember the champagne dress.
And I said, well, I want him to be a speaker at one of our events. I mean, he's local. He sounds amazing. He's a great story. He almost flunked out of high school. It was one teacher that kind of guided him, so told him that he was better than everything. And I was like, this is just a great story. Not everybody knows that they are bound for greatness. Sometimes you need to be guided that way. So I just happened to, as I always do, just reach out and say, hey, we'd love to have you as speaker. And I will tell you, I don't know if it's mutual. I kind of think it is. I hope it is. But I love their entire staff more. I mean, they are family to me. They are absolute family to me from the minute we met them. So he came in and was a guest speaker. He said, you want us to serve vodka? I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be great. The whole staff came. They brought their bar. They brought a mixologist. We visited him at his location. Everything is out of kindness, and just literally the staff is, and again, I hope it's mutual. Diego and Tony and Brittany and Danielle are the staff there, and Jacques, of course. And now we just hang when we can, and he is just phenomenal people, and a phenomenal product. Yeah. I mean, to the point,
yummy,
isn't it good? Yeah. To the point where I had this in my car, not because I was drinking it and driving. It was from a party. And there's a friend of our family that owns Bistro 70 in Paynesville. And so this was in the car, and I said to the owner, who's our friend, I said, hey, I've got this bottle of FLŌH Vodka in my car. Would you mind if I brought it in? And, would you taste it and see if it's something that you want to carry here at Bistro 70? I think it is. And so we had a little late night sip in a corner booth together, and he's like, yeah. So then I emailed Tony, who's kind of the salesperson for FLŌH, and I said, hey, reach out to, they want to get FLŌH. So I'm basically their sales rep as well.
This one that I'm drinking, does this have the Newman's Virgin Lemonade in it or no?
You do not.
Wow. So I got to tell you, that's fascinating. So I'm drinking the grapefruit dragon fruit one, and it is sweet, but not too sweet.
No sugar.
I thought it had the Newman's in it because it does taste.
Mine does, because I'm a little baby.
This one tastes delicious, and but it's not like girly. No offense to the girls.
And it's not pink, so you won't think that.
Yeah.
People won't be like, oh,
I bet
Alex
this would be a good
girly.
I bet this would be just a good martini without the ice in it.
And even the FLŌH, the regular FLŌH, I'm not a vodka drinker, but the regular FLŌH, it's missing that bite that I can't stand in vodka. It's just very smooth.
Yeah.
Very
well,
smooth.
my family usually does vodka in shots.
Correct.
Right? And this is a sipping vodka is what this is. This is one that you would just sip on.
Why can't you shoot it?
No, you could, but you would. I think that it tastes so good that you want to sip it instead of shoot it.
Got you.
You know?
And do you yell, Oppa? No,
say
that's the
L'chaim.
wrong. What do you say?
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Did I ever tell you my why I
didn't.
how I expanded my vodka horizons?
Tell me.
So in when I first got out of law school, I was 27, I think I was, and up to that point, I only ever drank vodka because I'd go to the Russian restaurant.
Kachka?
No, that stuff's nasty. No, it'd be like the Stoli, the Absolute, the standard. And every Friday since I was like 7, every single Friday, the Gertzbergs would go to the Russian restaurant. Right.
And where is the Russian restaurant?
Great question, Molly.
Thank you.
There's at that time and probably still to this day, there's 3 or 4 Russian restaurants in the Cleveland area. There's one called Red Square on Mayfield Road. Not bad, good food, owned by Emil, client of the firm, good dude. Good food over there. Then there's one, it's called Jubilee, but I only ever call it Ashot because this dude Ashot is the proprietor of that place. That's in East Lake, I believe.
Okay.
Really great food there too. Then there's one. Then there's one called Schneider's. That's on Lander Circle.
That doesn't sound very Jewish.
Good Italian name there. That one is called Europa. It's funny because yeah,
on the square, on the circle,
Lander Circle. We only ever call any of these places by the name of the dude who owns it.
Oh,
right? So there's Schneider's, there's Schutz, and there's Emil's. Then there was one called.
I've heard that has good food. I haven't been.
Yeah, they're all great.
I went to an event there, but I haven't been to eat dinner.
Then there used to be one called Baku, and there used to be one called Russian Tea Room. I think both of those are gone. But anyway, you went on a rotation, and every single Friday you went with your family there, and you brought your own bottle and you did shots.
Are you like the Italians where you at 5th grade or however old you are you having a shot of vodka? Like the Italians have wine, the kids have wine, and that's normal?
I probably had my first shot of vodka when I was like 15.
Okay.
14 or 15.
I just didn't know if that's like a norm.
No, but that tradition of going every Friday night,
how cool is that?
continued into my mid-20s, maybe even 30s, right? And all I ever drank there was vodka. And so my first job out of law school was at this firm called Retzel and Andrus. And my boss there was this dude, John Becker. And he pulled me aside one day and he goes, "Listen, dude, you got to start drinking something other than vodka if you want to start being a business lawyer."
Social business.
Yeah, you got to be able to, you have to drink scotch, and you have to be able to talk about scotch, and you have to be able to describe scotch, and not just doers. You have to be able to talk blended scotches versus single malts. And you know what I mean? And you have to be able to talk to purists who only will ever drink single malt scotches from Scotland. And so he goes, "Let's go out, you and me, and we're going to drink scotch." And so he took me out, and I must have thrown up 17 times that night. I thought it was all god awful. But
you know what I think about scotch?
You're not a fan.
What the flavor of scotch?
What did you like?
French kissing someone who smoked a pack of cigarettes.
Really? See,
that's totally what the flavor tastes like.
No,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how I feel about tequila.
Yeah.
So anyway, but eventually, right, I did start to acquire a taste for scotch, and today I do really enjoy a good scotch as well as a good bourbon.
Okay, can I put it out on our podcast because that makes it official and
What?
it makes it true?
What?
That I would like an invitation from Papa G
to the Russian restaurant?
To a Russian.
Yeah.
And we're going to drink vodka.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably throw up, but it's going to be all in the name of the Russian juice.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. And I'm actually going to take the staff here and family.
I want to go with Papa G.
All right, that's fine.
He says I'm outside.
Oh, well, we should go get him. Jacques, we've been talking about you behind your back
Are
for the
my
last half
cheeks
hour.
getting pinker from
From the vodka?
My Irish is coming out. You know, that Irish people, the alcohol comes out in the cheeks.
Is that true?
Only if it's not gluten-free.
Well, mine's gluten-free
Then you won't turn
because
red.
I'm drinking FLŌH vodka.
Can we talk about this vodka, Jacques?
Yes.
It is really good.
We're talking to a Russian Jew here, so he knows all
I've been
about
drinking vodka my whole life.
I was in Giant Eagle once, and a guy was looking at the different bottles of. He grabbed a bottle of Stoli Elite, and then he caught the FLŌH bottle. So he picked it up, he looked at it, and he put it back on the shelf. And I was like, "Why didn't you try it?" He was like, "Oh, I'm a vodka guy." He said, "But I'm Russian." And when I seen it was American made, he's like, "I didn't want to try it." So I bought him a bottle and I gave it to him.
Did you drink it out in the parking lot?
No, he sent me an email.
Oh,
A week later, it was like, you know what? That was the best American vodka I've ever had.
shout out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good vodka.
Thank you.
I was just telling Molly and all the kids listening at home that I like how this dragon fruit, is that what that is? Dragon
Yes.
fruit. It is sweet, but not too sweet. It's not so sweet that it's like girly. You know, it's like
Right.
sweet, but like subtly sweet.
But the pink shirt might be the girly part.
Which
on
you would
right
think I would
now.
care about such things. I would care about such
It's not
things.
really. It's not really.
Not
pink.
pink salmon.
It's like,
No, it's not.
whatever.
What do we got? You're a fashion guru. What do you think?
It's kind of like a baby cranberry type of thing.
Never.
is that-
Is that a real thing? Is that
Jacques
is-
has
just
his
saying,
own
bro.
nail polish color with
OPI.
OPI,
You don't
and
know
it's
Jacques.
called
Are you
what is
joking
it
right now?
again?
You don't know Jacques.
You don't know Jacques.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Is that a real thing? Are you guys making that up right now?
No,
It's
we're not.
Googleable.
Is that a word? Googleable.
That's
I
definitely
think
a word.
so.
Oh my gosh! If it's not, I'm totally making it a word.
Yeah, this is good. This is good vodka, and it isn't too sweet. I'm interested to know why vodka, how you came up with the name, and how you make it. Take those in any order you want.
I chose vodka because everyone who drinks a spirit has tried vodka.
Okay.
There's a lot of women that don't drink cognac or whiskey, but pretty much any man that drinks cognac or whiskey has had vodka before. And I prefer vodka, me personally. Just
So-
the process in which it's made, I prefer it.
So you figured since everyone's tried vodka, you've got a large market to cater to.
Yeah.
Right.
And I prefer vodka.
Yeah.
I think it's a party drink that could
Yeah.
be made a little more social. Whiskey, I like whiskey. I like cognac. People are so confused with what they drink. I don't drink light or dark. It's the barrel that makes it brown. You put water in a barrel, it'll turn brown.
Yeah.
So it's really the process you got to kind of pay attention to when you drink
But
something.
you are right with that. When you think about whiskey, you think about two men sitting down with a cigar,
Yeah.
sipping scotch or whiskey. When you think of vodka, you think of a martini at a bar, socializing and having fun.
You do.
I don't think of scotch sitting at a bar and having fun.
Not at all.
I think of my dad.
Yeah. When you look at those old movies and two
Mhm.
guys close a business deal, they go to that crystal vase and
Yeah.
pour that brown,
Yes.
neat
Yeah.
glass of scotch and toast.
Vodka's hipper, and it is.
Well, it all depends on the person drinking it.
I think it's hipper, and it's also the drink. It's what they bring out. Like it's the $1,000 drink that they bring out when you are at the club, right? When you've got the VIP seats.
Well,
Mm.
Jacques would know all about that.
Tequila is pretty high end in the club.
That's true.
Certain cognacs are expensive in the club.
Yeah.
Champagne is probably number one as far as the margins.
Right.
You
Guess that's a
come
good
from
point.
that world.
Champagne, you'll spend $1,000 on a bottle of champagne. You're still only gonna get 4 glasses.
Yeah.
Right.
Four.
Man, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Could-
I've only ever gotten the bottles of vodka at the
But
at
can you
bottle service.
explain the bottle service to someone who doesn't hang around with the right people? What is it? I mean, I know of bottle service, but actually, I just know it recently from my daughter who was talking about it. So tell me, because you come from the clubs
Yeah,
and you,
bottle service is one of those things. If you don't know about it, I wouldn't worry yourself with it.
I want to
It
worry
might
about
stress you-
it.
It might stress you out.
Is there something that I'm not a part of that I want to be a part of?
Yeah, bottle service isn't it? You don't want to.
It's really just like
why do you get bottle service?
To be cool. And to be he's right. Like
I'm already cool. I don't need to.
But that's why they can charge whatever the club can charge whatever they want for bottle service and just sell you any regular bottle of vodka because it's the status that you're buying.
And the main thing behind bottle service is the fact that you get to sit down in the club.
In like a roped off section. Yeah.
You go to Vegas, if you don't have a section, you're standing. You can't sit at the bar. Mm-hmm. You can't sit anywhere in the place but at sections. And in order to get a section, you have to buy bottles. So if you want to sit down in a club, you got to buy a bottle. Otherwise, you're standing the whole time.
I think I told you, I don't know if I told you, when we were in New York, I had gotten an appetizer, fried pickles, if you must know. And the guy sitting next to us was kind of looking at our appetizer and he asked, "Oh, what's that?" And it's like, "I don't know, it's fried pickles or whatever." So he's very interested. So I turned to the server and I said, "Could you send him over order of fried pickles?" He seemed to be very into it. So about 10 minutes later, a bottle of Dom comes to our table. And we're like, "Oh, what?" And he said, "Compliments of the gentleman next to you, thanking you for the $7.99 fried pickles that I had sent him over." Wow. Well, he happened to be a rep for Dom, and he was there on a Dom conference. Oh. So we of course had him join us for this bottle. And the server poured. She got 5 out of it because there were 5 of us, and then took the bottle right away. Mm-hmm. He got up and reamed her. She then brought the empty bottle back to the table because he wanted that bottle to sit on the table. He wanted everyone to, know that this table had a bottle of Dom. I just thought that was cool.
Interesting.
I have the bottle at home still.
Where was this?
New York City.
So you don't remember the club?
Yes, it wasn't a club. It was the Marriott that rotates on Times Square.
Lovely.
So I don't know. That's as fancy as I get with my stories.
Bottle service.
There was bottle service, yeah. But then he asked us to go home with him, and his wife wasn't there, but his girlfriend was, and there was a whole lot. There's a whole lot after that.
Did you go home with him?
He did. He did buy you a bottle of Dom.
I am not that easy. It's going to take more than a bottle of Dom for me. It's going to take a bottle of FLOH for me.
If you didn't go home, did you go upstairs?
No, but he did. He lived in California, and he invited us to his place in California, and
I bet Jacques been to some pretty crazy clubs with some pretty crazy people. I bet. What's throw one out?
I really don't know. I haven't been to a crazy club, I would say, in a long time. They're all pretty much the same right now.
Well, you
had music.
Yeah, because you had said an interesting thing when we were together that you're there for business.
Yeah, I'm like the Terminator.
Right. You want to go in and make the sales.
I can scan the whole room and tell you exactly how many bottles went out from the time I hit the door.
Nice.
Do you have these bottles sold out of a lot of clubs and bars, or just a few of them?
No, a lot of clubs.
All over the country. Well, I think I saw 7
bars
states
are
or something.
best. We're in 10 states.
10 states.
Yeah, bars are better than clubs.
Why?
I mean, club margin is
kids.
Yeah, we don't see the club margin. The club margin is so high on bottle service. Like for instance, we have clubs in Cleveland that might do 12 to 20 bottles maybe a week out of their club in 2 days. And we have bars that are doing 36 bottles a week.
Why is that?
Just selling drinks.
Why the difference?
Just a different fan base. Okay. Like people that go to the bar are pretty much strictly going to drink. People go to nightclub for a few reasons. Party, music, just to get out the house.
Okay.
They're kind of lingering for bottle service. They're not really spending a lot of money. They pay to get in, so they spent money to get into the place, so they're not really spending a lot drinking. Bars, you get in for free. You're watching a 2-hour football game, you're going to drink a lot more than going to a club. You figure club closes 2:30, a lot of people here go to the club at 1.
How do you get the bars to introduce their customers to FLOH Vodka who have never heard of them before?
Well, partnerships. You got to do presentations. We got some really great bar owners in town, so a lot of them are, dedicated to kind of presenting a better product to their customers. So we've been fortunate.
I would think just the fact that it's local would be a big draw.
Yeah, sometimes. But you have people here that just don't really want to see local do too well.
Well, it seems like there
Who
are
those bastards.
It is. It's like just enough. Like I want you to have a house, but not a garage. Or I want you to have a car, but
no wheels.
I mean, I want you to need gas every week. I don't want you to have I want you to have too much, not more than me.
Just shout out, Colin Hubbard has FLŌH. Capitol Grill has FLŌH.
Yes, all of Zach Brule places have FLŌH. Alley Cat, but we have some great places. XO. I mean, you name it. Rumor Nightclub, Town Hall, Barley House, District, Medusa. Like we have all the top places in town that are carrying the brand.
So here, I want to know. So you explained why vodka. Walk us through the journey that got us to this day, starting with Heights High.
Well, it's a pretty long journey there.
What year did you graduate from Heights, by the way?
99.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I went into, I did a lot of events in high school, like house parties and stuff like that. So after high school, I jumped into clothing. My first company was a clothing store called Dress Code.
Where was it?
On Noble in Monticello.
Okay.
And that was where I learned that you can grow up with people and they will not shop with you. All of my clientele was crosstown or just from people I never knew. I met so many people opening my clothing store that it was, it's amazing. It's crazy. Like people I grew up with, like spent the night in my house would rather spend their money in another store than spend it in my store. And we would carry the same items. And I learned a lot dealing with that industry.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot.
What's the philosophy behind that, I wonder? Just that people suck sometimes.
Yeah.
I think any way you look at it, even just people that right now we all think are our close friends, there's always going to be a portion of the people you know who really don't want you to succeed. You know? And I think the younger you are, when it's harder to succeed and you're surrounded by people hustling and struggling, there's a lot more of those people who don't want you to succeed.
But at the end of the day, it never really truly bothered me. It was just more, I look at things, everything is meant for me to see or for me to learn from. I don't hold grudges. It is what it is. It made me branch out, took me out of my comfort zone. I couldn't rely on, people who I knew, so it made me just work a little harder.
So that clothing store is that like right out of high school?
Right out of high school.
So
I was 18.
How did you? Where'd you get the money? How do you launch? Man, in high school, I was just trying to put gas in my car.
No, high school, I had 3 jobs.
Oh, right on.
Senior year, I got out of school at 11 o'clock. I worked all day long. I worked at the Gap, Heinen's, and a gas station, a Marathon gas station.
It's called hustle right there.
That is a common, that you just got to be a hard worker, period. You've got to put in the hours to get to where you are today. And that's just a habit that you had to have had all along. So
yeah,
I guess,
and I'm a risk taker. Definitely a risk taker. Like I'll Evel Knievel. Like I'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just had faith that you were gonna land, even if you didn't.
And
land.
I've always wanted to work for myself. Like I never had basketball dreams as a kid. Never wanted to go to NFL. Never wanted to be a firefighter. Yeah. I was always too short for those things. I was like 5'2" till 11th grade. That's documented. I have pictures. Like literally, I was like 5'2".
I just saw one recently of you prom or something in a.
I shot up by then. By prom, I was 6 feet.
Little tuxedo, looking good.
I knew then I would be self-employed.
How long does the clothing store last?
2 years.
And it just didn't make the money you needed to make.
No,
the same business?
It could have lasted longer. So I had a partner in it. My partner went separate ways. He moved out of town. My landlord was a prick. He didn't want to renew the lease because he wanted to put his beauty supply store in my space because our space was fixed up. It was the best unit in his 3-unit building.
Because you fixed it up.
Yep. Yep. He was a prick. He knows who he knows who he is. Definitely.
I know you're listening right now.
No breaking news here.
Yeah, he knows. He knows exactly who he is.
So then what happens?
I probably would end up failing anyway because I knew nothing about business. I knew shit about business, especially with clothing. Everything is about what you have that's new.
Right.
And if you're not putting out stuff weekly, I didn't know anything about Dun & Bradstreet numbers. All the companies around me, the clothing stores around me were getting their stuff on credit and consignment. Right. I was doing COD for everything. So I would have eventually just drowned anyway.
Yeah.
I was very uneducated in the form of business.
Would you go back to fashion, or did you been there, done that?
I still dabble in it. Fashion took me a lot of places. I did personal shopping for
what does that mean?
A few athletes and stuff like that. Guys call me looking for certain items. I did that for a while. That paid good money, but it just wasn't enough.
Anybody you're allowed to share?
No.
See, that's why he's a good businessman. He knows how to keep quiet.
No secrets.
Yeah.
Drink some more vodka, man. I'll get it out of you. So you're a personal. So you got the clothing business. You become a personal shopper for a while.
Events. I just kept doing events here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? You do events. So you plan the event from start to finish, or
yeah.
Okay. And usually at clubs, were you a promoter too?
Yeah, I've done a lot of club stuff too.
Okay.
You realized early on that you were unemployable. You had to work for yourself.
Yep.
So you're dabbling, you're hustling, you're figuring out what's going to stick. Yeah. Basically, right?
Yeah.
So, do we just fast forward now to the FLŌH Vodka, or is there anything that's standing out there that, I mean, certainly, just there has to. I'm sure each one of those steps had its own learning experiences.
Absolutely.
And I'm guessing too, Jacques, that you have become friends with failure the way I have become friends with failure, and view it not as a wall, but just a speed bump each time that you learn from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any come to mind, anything jump out at you that before the success of FLŌH Vodka, you were like, man, I'm really glad that happened?
All of it. Like you name it, everything led me to where I'm at. Whether it's a friend who did me wrong, made me not trust as easy the next time, it was always a stepping stone to actually starting the brand. Because, I mean, I tell a lot of people, you can't teach hustle at all. Can't teach hustle, can't buy loyalty.
Amen.
So those two things are very important for an entrepreneur. Now, you can't teach someone how to survive off a $20 bill for a month and still have a nice attitude and be happy and driven. It's hard to get up broke and still focus on a goal. Like starting a company is like, that's why I have a lot of respect for like farmers, because you really plant something and you have to tend to it every day for it to actually grow and feed you later. It's crazy. Same thing with starting a business. You work very hard for no money. Like I'm working hard now. I'm not making money off FLŌH yet. Our big payday is down the line.
Right.
But right now we have to work as if it's tomorrow, but it's not.
And you've surrounded yourself with, I think, a great staff. Team.
I have no employees.
I bragged. You'll listen to this podcast to be able to hear what I said about all of them, because I just think the world of everyone on your team. I mean, they're just phenomenal people.
Yeah, I have a great team. They're all underpaid and overworked because they believe in the bigger picture.
I want to come back to what you just said about that very point about the bigger picture, because so FLŌH has been around for how long?
4 years now.
Right. So what a lot of entrepreneurs, I think, know that a lot of our customers, clients, employees don't know is that those first 5 to 10 years, we're not making money.
Not at all.
We're paying the bills. We're just trying to buy back our debt or pay it down, right? And we have to be thinking big picture, long game all the time, and that is that's a hard fact, I think.
And mind you, I've been on shelves for 4 years, but I've been working on this since 2009. Research and development took a while. It took me 2 years just to finalize my bottle design. But every aspect of the brand, I had to find by myself. I found the people who made every aspect.
Yeah,
had to fly around and meet people and just learn. And I had to teach myself because I was very uneducated about the liquor industry from the corporate side. I knew a lot about promoting a product and getting it out there and getting people to try it, but to actually bring it to fruition and do it the way I did it was just constant long nights doing research and being stubborn.
You've got to be happy with the results, though. I mean, this bottle is
absolutely
so sexy. It just is a sexy bottle.
Well, it is unique. I mean, there is certainly no vodka bottle that is shaped like that.
Nope.
Right? And I'm not sure. There probably is another liquor bottle that's shaped like that. It kind of reminds me of
wine bottle. It's called One.
It's almost
and
more
it
like a
metal
wine bottle than
square like this, but it is so.
It's elegant.
It's not elegant.
I think it's elegant. Can I say?
It's not elegant.
I'm gonna go with elegant.
Sexy. It's hot.
How did you?
Elegant reminds me of like an old grandma.
Oh no! I think All right, listen.
You know what? Let me think of what I want to think of the
I'm
bottle.
gonna go with
you
elegant,
think what you think
go,
elegant. I say
we can choose our own adjectives.
Sexy.
It's all right. There's room for both of us, Molly. Jacques, you said it took you 2 years to come up with this design, right?
It took me 2 years to get the design finalized. I drew the initial design on a napkin.
Did it look anything like this?
Fairly.
Did you keep that napkin?
Yeah, it'll be at the art show.
Which we have to talk about.
That's really interesting. Did you so from what are you going for here? What were you thinking when you came up with this design?
I was thinking of a bottle that you could sell in a nightclub and also see in the White House.
Oh, I like that. Interesting.
So the black bottle is meant to look like a tuxedo, and the pink bottle is meant to be a lady in a dress.
Oh, I could see that.
They look like a couple. Yeah. So I wanted it to be smoky. I like from a distance. I didn't want you to walk in a bar and know what was vodka. I wanted to create a conversation piece.
So that's interesting because now the pink one is about 2/3 empty now, or 1/3 empty, and Molly and I were just talking about how it seems when it's full like the liquid inside is pink, but I'm drinking it and it's clear.
It's a slight tint of pink to it because it's all natural flavoring. If you put it next to
something white,
mine is the regular FLŌH.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a pinch cloudier.
Is there fruit particles in it?
Sediment, yeah, because it's all natural flavoring, no added sugar. So the sweetness you get is from the dragon fruit and the pink grapefruit.
It tastes delicious.
Yeah, the sweetness you get is from the dragon fruit and the pink grapefruit mixed.
All right, so at some point you're creating a manufacturing process, right? And you've got to get the materials, and then you got to get machines to mix the materials. This is your first foray into manufacturing food and beverages, right?
So what I did was I hired a food scientist, and me and her developed the formula, and then we took the formula to a distillery.
Okay.
And had the distillery just distill for us.
And what did you have to, were there any bumps in the road, anything that you had to overcome that you thought, you know what, this vodka's not coming out? I mean, we're not going to.
No, I mean, it was one of those things, I try to compare it to kind of like, just, I don't know, I hate to say it, like, I don't want it to sound weird, but almost like being born with a disability. Like, you can't miss it. Like, you're kind of, you're blind to the fact that, you can't do something. People think you can't do it. But in your mind, you're just trucking ahead.
I completely know what you're talking about.
So when they put 50 papers on our desk, it was like, hey, we got to knock them out. We weren't discouraged. If I could look back on it now, I'm glad I didn't know anything about the industry. Because if you would have told me ahead of time, every state had different laws. Some states were controlled. What liquor distributors do to make sure people can't see your product, what you have to go through here, there. I probably would have been talked out of it.
Interesting.
You hear a lot of Buddhists and entrepreneurs who do meditation talk about this concept of beginner's mind, and that's getting to that place. It's getting rid of all your assumptions and preconceptions and prejudices.
Because your mind is your worst enemy.
Yeah.
And your strongest tool. But to your point, yes, you have to. Meditation, I hear, is good. I'm a prayer, so I guess it's kind of the same thing. But I'm definitely able to step back, and I'm dialed in right now. Though right now, I'm probably in the best mental state I've ever been in. Like I'm literally viewing myself from a distance.
What do you think?
Oh, that's called.
I don't even need a mirror in my house.
Well, that's just
we
called
know what
self-awareness.
that's called. No, that's when we talked about this on a podcast. When the player, it happens a lot in sports when you're so focused.
You know what that's called, Molly? That's called flow.
Yes, yes, that's what it's called.
Yeah. I know what it's called.
Is that why you named it Flow?
No, we actually call it Mr. Miyagi. That's when you channel your inner self. But
It is.
it is.
How did you come up with the name Flow?
It came to me one night in my sleep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Were you drinking vodka the night before when you
Nope.
passed out?
Nope. I wasn't even on the market yet. I had the bottle design. I had everything laid out, and I just woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, wow, I'm going to call it Flow. I woke my wife up. I told her I'm going to call it Flow. She was like, I like it.
Is this the French version of Flow?
No, I just put the bar over the O to emphasize the O, and I wanted to spell it with an H.
So, did you do any kind of like market testing? Did you? Was it just pretty much you and your wife, and then the spelling?
No.
You just went with it. You went with your gut.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, it's brilliant.
That's awesome. Well,
Your tagline is
Be the Flow.
Be the flow. I like it. No, it's great because, I mean, we only represent businesses, and I know how much time and money people spend on focus groups and marketing consultants and trademark consultants on getting. And you said, nope, this is my epiphany, and I'm going with it, and I feel it, and this is what it's going to be.
Because consultant it's a tricky market. I don't per se like most consultants. It's become a scam. The whole consultant business, definitely with vodka or any liquor, it's become a big scam. Like you go to these liquor conventions, it's a bunch of old guys that are retired that are just taking $5,000-$10,000 a month from new brands to tell them what they should be doing, but they're not really doing anything.
Yeah. There's a part of your story that we glossed right over, right? So our crack research department, Jacques, found this thing somewhere that said that in high school, at Heights High School, you had a mentor who you were like in danger of flunking out, and that you were going down this other path, but this teacher, maybe? Is there a story there, or am I crazy? Or
Miss Watson?
Miss Watson.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Miss Watson.
What's the deal there?
Shout
What's the
out to
story?
Miss Watson.
Yeah, Miss Watson. She's still in my life too. But my first year of school, I had all F's. I didn't go to class. I just sold candy and clothes and shoes and made money. I didn't care about school. I had nobody guiding me on why. No one could tell me why I should care about school. So I didn't care about school. And I had parent-teacher conference one day, and all of my teachers were just ringing, just telling my mother the worst stuff in the world, like how he's awful and all this shit. And then we got to Miss Watson's class. I knew it was over because I didn't like Miss Watson, and she didn't like me. And Miss Watson didn't say one negative thing to my mother, not one. And from that day on, I had a whole different level of respect for her.
What class did she teach?
Reading.
So what did she say to you at that point?
No, she just told my mother that I was a genius and I needed to apply myself and that I could be great.
That was it.
That was it.
But she continued to mentor you through.
She kept telling my mother I was a critical thinker and that I was popular. I had a lot of friends and just a bunch of nice stuff. She didn't say nearly the things she could have said. And then from that day on, all the other teachers, they couldn't wait to tell my mom all these crazy things. He doesn't come to class, or I haven't seen him in weeks. And, you know, at this time, my mother, they would send progress reports home. I would get them out the mail. I would take mine, my brother, and my sister's.
I know that game. I know that game real well.
And then I would get my grades up, and then I would put them back in the mail.
Yeah.
And let them arrive late. But this particular time, I didn't have a chance to even put them back in the mail because I just didn't do anything at school. And then after Miss Watson did that, from then on, when I came back to school, it was just like a switch that went off, and I just would pay attention to her class. She would even help me with other homework and other classes that she didn't teach. And then we just became great.
How great is that?
Yeah. Well, and my guess is that...
And that was ninth grade.
It's anywhere... The influence that a person like that has in your life is anywhere from just speeding up progress to, on the conservative side to, more aggressively, like keeping you, out of... Like I had a teacher who said, you're either going to law school or jail. And I think I told you, I saw him at a football game. I said, the joke's on you. I've been to both. But I mean the impact, I still marvel every single day at how low on the totem pole our society keeps teachers relative to athletes and entertainers, and politicians and
what a difference they can make.
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
person's
Like
life.
they are the first line that that influence our kids after the parents. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Well, shout out to Miss Watson.
Yeah.
Yes, shout out to Miss Watson.
You are a queen in our book.
Yeah. All right, Molly, do you think we're ready for the lightning round? Do you think Jacques is ready for the lightning round?
No, he's not ready.
Molly, you want to go first?
Jacques, what is the last show that you binged?
Daredevil 3.
What's that?
Interesting. It's like one of the Marvel.
Yeah, it comes on Netflix. Great show.
Okay.
That was just last week.
I'm binging the Fargo series right now, which is fascinating, which I would recommend.
I just finished Schitt's Creek. If you have not seen that with Eugene Levy, it is hysterical. It's a comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, comedy, and it's his son, and they're wealthy. They got indicted. They lost everything, and they had to move to Schitt's Creek, which is a town that they bought just because they liked the name. They thought the name was funny. So they live in this motel, and it is Eugene Levy, and it's really his son, but he plays his son also. And the comedy, it's brilliant writing.
Next, Molly.
What's on your mind?
Nothing.
Beginner's mind.
That's
you see
not
that?
true.
Clarity.
Because you've got a big art show coming up that I'm sure that you're planning, and that's on your mind.
Yeah, that is. It's driving me crazy, actually.
Yes. So tell us a little bit. I actually, should we wait until what's coming up next?
We can jump ahead.
Okay.
It's okay.
Let's just jump right into it.
let's
So
go
you're having
crazy.
an art show.
Yes, February 23rd and 24th, and the 25th, but the 25th is reserved for the kids at the high school.
Oh, I love that. Any high school?
Whose
or
art is
the
it?
Heights?
Well, it's Cleveland Heights right now.
Okay.
It's all stuff that I created and
Really?
collaborated with other artists. So I collaborated with a guy in Australia on a piece, a guy in Norway.
You just announced someone else coming with you, or
Yeah,
going to be there.
a guy named Lenny S.
Okay.
He's a well-known photographer, but you can't hire him.
Okay. So he does his own stuff.
Yeah, he manages DJ Khaled, and he's one of Jay-Z's best friends, and
Okay.
he's known for his photography, but he's not a photographer you can hire. He's never sold any of his work over 30 years.
Huh.
And
He's
it's
like Banksy. He's like just his own dude.
yeah, he's phenomenal, and he has pictures that no one would have because
And how did
he's
you
not a
get
hired
him?
photographer. So he has pictures that are intimate because those are his friends. Yeah.
How did you get hooked up with him?
Well, we met through a mutual friend a few years back, and when he was in town for the Jay-Z and Beyonce concert, I was telling him about the art show, and long story short, he's decided to, for the first time,
Because you
display
don't
his
take no
work.
for an answer.
Nope.
Huh.
I got
So it's paintings, right? What kind
Just
of
a
art
little
are we
bit of
talking
everything. Just some creative stuff. Like, it's some stuff in there you'll be like, wow, no one in the world has never thought of that, but that was a great idea.
And you said it's in a high school, and then it's somewhere
No, it's
else?
at Mocha, Cleveland.
Oh, it's at Mocha. Oh,
Yeah, it's at Mocha, Cleveland.
Love Mocha.
Yeah. Yep. Capitol Grill is catering.
Oh, is it open to the public? Or is it by invite only?
Ticket only.
Ticket only.
And
The whole show for the week, for those 2 days.
Yeah. And the tickets are championship rings.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How do you get a ticket?
That's what we're going back and forth with now. I'm exploring the option of building out a storefront for 2 months and making it a ticket location.
Like a pop-up store or
Yeah.
something?
Or taking a space inside like Beechwood Mall or something like that and making it a...
You don't want to just open it to the public online, say tickets are available from this date to this date, buy them now, or...
You could. I mean, I even threw out there that the first 100 tickets sold, I would deliver personally, no matter the state.
I want to go. I'm telling you right now, I want to go. I love Mocha, and this sounds like something.
Jacques, so perfect timing.
All right.
All right, so let's make the plan.
It will be. It should be nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be nice.
And I have to ask, since every day is Halloween costume time for your family, Jacques' dad is 6, FYI. I don't think we covered that. Beautiful wife. His wife writes Princess Cupcake Jones books. Your daughter is the perfect clientele.
Princess Cupcake Jones.
Yes.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yes, I'll have to get her a couple so you can read them to
And
her.
we have apparel and dolls and toys. And
Really?
yeah, we have bicycles coming out, tennis shoes.
Where do we find those?
Online,
Well, if you would
all
have
the
come to
bookstores.
Community open house.
Walmart
Interesting.
online, Amazon online, all the
Here she
online
All
outlets.
Princess
Great.
Cupcake Jones. Oh my goodness! Look at that.
Well, that's a big doll.
Yeah, that's our big toy doll.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. We'll be reading
Here's
her.
the books.
Molly, what's next?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I took all the time.
No. That's what we just talked about this in the last episode. The irony of the beauty of the lightning round is that is the irony, and it's never fast. It's
Never. Well, I think my only one is your favorite.
I'm shaking my head disapprovingly.
But I'm going to go with, only because I follow Jacques on Instagram, so I'm going to go with, instead of the last text, I'm going to go with the last picture on his phone. So if you could grab your phone and show us the last picture on your phone.
Pretty sure it's something that has to do with the art show.
So we wouldn't legally be able to see it yet. All right, so go to the 17th. The last.
There may be 4 people who know what's going on with the art
so
show.
the 17th
and they all know
picture.
something different. So if information leaks,
You know,
I
that's
don't know
the
who told.
second time you have told me that.
it's the truth.
That you do that.
I don't know exactly who told.
That's like that's like the brown M&M, right? You gotta make sure that you heard that story. The Rolling Stones would ask for one purple M&M in a bowl of M&Ms just to see that they were paying attention to the rules.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, Jacques. You are on a desert island. You are shipwrecked for a minimum of 3 months, and you don't know how long it's going to be. It could be the rest of your life. You may take with you any single musician's entire discography, and that's the only musician you're going to listen to for the rest of the time.
It's easy.
Who is it?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. Boom. Look at that. Didn't even hesitate.
No, it's easy.
No.
Same desert island.
I could build a
Does
ship.
he have enough albums?
Plenty.
Does he have a lot
He's got
of
a lot.
albums? Does
Plenty.
he?
It's been out since 96.
He's still going strong too.
Mm-hmm.
Same shipwreck, same island, same amount of time. You can bring any single author's entire bibliography. That's the only author you're going to read for the rest of your life. Who is it?
Bible.
Interesting.
That's the one I picked.
We've gotten a few of those.
I picked the Bible.
New Testament,
The Bible
not
in
the
general.
Old Testament.
Old Testament.
Old Testament. Going old school.
And my wife's
It all
books.
comes in one
And
book.
your wife's. I like the way you snuck that in.
Yes, let's make sure we
That's
tag
smooth.
Princess Cupcake Jones in this.
Yeah, my desert island is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say
Jay-
actors' movies or something.
Jay-Z and
That
the
would've threw me
Bible.
off.
That's an interesting combo.
That would have threw me off if you'd have said actors' movies.
No. Why? You don't have a famous
Or like a movie maker. That'd be a good one.
Oh,
How
an
about a
actor
movie?
and his whole. You know what?
An
That would be a
actors'
good
movie
one.
catalog.
Yeah. Wow.
Or I would say any movie maker. like whether actor, director, writer, any of those. That's a good one. I think we're going to add that to the lightning round repertoire.
Molly Gepler.
That's your favorite. That's your favorite movie maker.
She is a documentarian.
Yeah,
after all,
award-winning.
But if I had to watch the Pumpkin movie for the rest of the rest of my life, I'd put a gun in my mouth.
There might be another one coming.
It's really good. It's really good though.
Who's your favorite actor or actress?
You know who I love as an actor is he was just in Mamma Mia. He was the
Pierce Brosnan.
You don't love him that much.
No, I
you don't love him
but,
that much. You don't even know his name.
He's listening right now and pissed off.
Gosh. He's an old time actor, not Pierce Brosnan, and he wasn't in the. He's in the second Mamma Mia.
Baldwin? Is he one of the Baldwins?
No. Shit. Well, I obviously don't like
Robert De Niro.
No, but he would be in around that genre, that time. Damn it. I don't know. Bradley Cooper is another one. And he deserves a hashtag Bradley Cooper Oscar.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Did you see Stars Born?
I couldn't Bradley Cooper on an island. Hell no.
No?
No. He has great movies, but not enough to get me through that island.
Right.
It's true.
I would watch Limitless over and over again.
That was all right. Who would you bring?
I'd watch Stars Born over again.
I probably would take probably Al Pacino.
All right.
See, now could you please Google Mamma Mia, because it's somebody
Al
in that.
Pacino. Robert De Niro? It's not Robert De Niro?
No.
Pacino would get you a lot of mileage.
Pacino would give me everywhere. He has
in that Rat Pack.
Mamma Mia
not
2.
Rat Pack, that was the wrong
he
one.
has
second
some
one?
Second one. It
Pacino
was Cher's love interest.
Pacino has some pretty crazy bodies of work.
Yeah, he does. He's got a million of them.
And he has an
Andy Garcia.
Yes.
I like Andy Garcia.
Love me some Andy Garcia.
Have you ever seen Sin of a Woman?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's a
good one.
classic.
That's a Pacino.
That's a good.
Godfather alone I could watch.
Yeah.
I watch Godfather probably 2 times a year anyway. It's a lot of life lessons in that.
There are. You're right. There are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would bring the
could do a
Coen brothers. I would bring any Coen brothers movie. All the Coen brothers movies with me.
Give me some of those.
So Fargo
I know who
was
they
one,
are.
but
See,
not.
I don't. That's just too. Yeah.
Big Lebowski.
Oh,
Big Lebowski.
Stop it! All their writing is It's all the same.
On a desert island?
Big Lebowski.
No.
Come
On a desert island? That's what
Who
you want
was
to look
in
at?
that one?
What are you guys, communists? This is the Big Lebowski.
On a desert island?
Yes.
Stupid funny.
True Grit.
It's
On a
that
desert
awesome.
island?
It's
you guys
that
are crazy.
stupid funny.
That
guys
makes
are
me. So, what's the best movie of all time in your book? This will tell me a lot about you.
I would agree with you. I would put Godfather 1 and 2 up there in my top 20.
No, top 5.
Well, I don't know.
That's really up there. That's probably number 1 movie in
It's
the
up
world.
there.
The way we were.
I'm a big fan of Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse
Also, a
Now.
Francis Ford Coppola movie.
Apocalypse Now was hold on, Apocalypse
Rob
Now.
Lowe has great things. Did Francis Ford Coppola do
hold on.
You know what?
Alzheimer's?
You want to know? You don't want to know
I'm
who
thinking
my
Apocalypto. Wait.
Also a good movie, even though Mel Gibson's a douchebag. That's a great movie.
Mel's
though.
a douche.
Mel's a total douchebag.
Did Apocalypse Now?
Mel is misunderstood.
Wait, did Francis Ford Coppola do Outsiders?
Can I have some of that virgin
think so.
lemonade?
Yes.
I think he did Outsiders. I
Gonna
think
make
so.
you a virgin
Here,
again.
you know who my my other filmmaker would be actually for the Desert Island would be Quentin Tarantino.
Ugh.
Yeah, that make you know what? I knew you were going to say that when you told me about those big Lebowskis
Yeah,
and stuff.
I did not.
I was
like
thinking
Pulp
that
Fiction.
There's 10 solid movies
he's
right there.
He's not a he is very overrated in my opinion.
Agreed.
Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah.
I feel like Jacques, you and I are not going to see eye to eye on a lot of stuff.
We're not going to go to the movies together.
Yeah. And I consider myself
The way we were.
I can but we
The
could
mirror
be
has 2 faces.
we could be the new Siskel and Ebert with the difference of opinion.
We would argue a lot, it sounds like.
Because I tear a movie apart. I'm one of those guys. If you tell me somebody is a certain age in the movie and their child is not of the proper age of them to have made that child, I'll catch it early.
All right. How do you in general feel about like the Matrix movies? You're a superhero guy, so I'm guessing you got a strong opinion about the Matrix movies.
The first Matrix was great.
Okay.
First Matrix was great.
It was great.
I'm a fan of original.
I would put that in my top 20. Actually.
Matrix in top 20?
Yeah.
I would have to break it down, but I think The Matrix could climb in my top 20.
Yeah.
But 20 is tough when you think about movies like,
I would put it maybe even in my top 10 because it has so many.
The Matrix.
What?
Keanu Reeves.
You would put it in your top 10?
Yeah, because it has so many layers of philosophy and story and character and plot in it that
it's tough because you almost had to throw Avatar in there.
Interesting.
Avatar was
real good.
It was it's the same type of movie, kind of being trapped in, like being able to take the mind. And
I kind of had a problem with Avatar because it seemed like they were playing to like a very commercial audience. Like it was very creative, and the special effects were amazing, and the story was great. But then it almost seemed like there were times of it when I was cringing a little bit because it seemed like they were playing to like the teenage audience.
Mm-hmm.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz for its time. Wizard of Oz was groundbreaking.
Yeah,
right.
I never cared for it.
Not the Wizard of Oz.
I mean, it's cool. It's like a little girly. I like stuff.
That's why mine's
right.
the way we were.
When we bring Jacques back for round 2, we'll talk more movies. We
really went
we got 2 more lightning round questions. What is the habit or routine that you do on a regular basis that you've gotten the most traction from?
Probably my nighttime research and development.
What does that involve?
I sit at home probably around, I would say, from 12 to 2 in the morning.
Huh.
I get my best ideas in the middle of the night.
Alex is sleeping by then.
Oh, for
he doesn't
hours.
like when I text him late at night.
That's why I get the most work done, because all of my kids are asleep.
And you've been up the whole time. It's not like you go down and then you wake up.
No, I'm up. I can survive off 2 hours of sleep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, coffee, busy, stay moving.
Do you sleep in until like 10 in the morning?
No, I got kids. 2-year-old twins. My son pops up at 7 in the morning.
Jacques, I really don't think that's healthy, man. I don't think the human body was supposed to do that on a regular basis. You're probably
got that extra shot from God.
I think the human body is here to break limits.
Flexible.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel like if you don't get the proper sleep, you can offset it with drinking enough water or eating a proper meal that day.
Well, what would support your theory. Have you ever heard what Salvador Dali used to do with sleep?
No.
You know Salvador. You're an artist. You know Salvador. You know Salvador Dali?
Nope.
He made those crazy paintings that are all surreal with the melting clocks and the giant walking. And you've seen them.
Okay.
So he was the artist that made surrealism popular, like just dreamlike paintings. Anyway, he was a cokehead, right? And but did these amazing pictures while sort of hallucinating in these dream states that he was in, but he was so productive, supposedly, on no sleep. And the way he did it was he would take these like 30-second cat naps, and he would supposedly he would paint all day long, and when he would start getting tired, he would sit in a chair with a silver platter by his feet, right? And he would hold a spoon in his hand, and he would just hold there and then start nodding off. And then when he would go unconscious long enough to drop the spoon, it would wake him up, by which point he would have like 30 seconds to a minute of sleep. Wake up, do another 20 minutes of painting, and then start nodding off again.
That was definitely the drugs.
He's weird.
Yeah. Well, but you know what? He would paint for like 20 of 24 hours in a day.
Wow.
And he would make these amazing paintings.
Yeah.
You ready for the final lightning round question?
Shoot.
What is an embarrassing thing about yourself that nobody else knows?
Embarrassing. Don't think I have one.
That might be.
Alex is going to tell you you're wrong.
No,
I really don't. I don't think I have one.
Because you're an open book, because you tell everybody, or you don't do anything embarrassing.
I don't.
Or because you don't get embarrassed ever.
I'm cool as hell. Like, this shit is documented back to. I'm a firm believer. Like, I literally can go back to like my elementary, and you'll see like in elementary I was cool. Middle school I was a pretty cool guy. High school, I was prom king.
That was a good answer.
I've always been.
That is awesome.
I don't have anything embarrassing. Like, I don't.
All right. Can I change the question?
Can Alex make sure that you have something embarrassing?
You can try. I don't.
Can I just ask another question? Sure. Molly, is that okay?
Is it going to be something to do with bonnet, or is it a different way to ask your question?
Maybe.
Yes, exactly.
What's the last thing that anyone made fun of you for?
Well, I would really have to say nothing.
Because I'll beat the shit out of them.
No, like, I'm a comedian. So most people don't tend to really. They don't really.
When are you going to do your stand-up?
My reputation
is that after the art show?
I could.
Wait, are you serious? Are you a comedian? Have you done stand-up comedy?
No.
Or do you mean like in a colloquial
I've written
sense?
jokes for a few friends that do stand-up, but people who know me, who've grown up with me, would probably consider me up there with like top 2 or 3 people.
Bold statement right there.
Which is so funny because he's so mellow, but they come out.
I like that answer though. It's like, I don't get embarrassed because I'm just that fucking cool.
He didn't say fuck, but he should have.
I know. Molly, can you think of the last thing that someone made fun of you for?
You know what? I think everybody makes fun of me behind my back. So I think, which is fine with me.
I don't.
It was totally fine with me. I think no one would probably do it to my face. I would rather them do it to my face, but
and I don't have, and I'm the person, like, I'm willing to go further than anyone else when it comes to jokes. Like, you can't hurt my feelings. Like, growing up, you could rank my mom if you wanted to, because you had a mom too. Like, it was like 9 out of 10, you're going to fight or cry. Right. That was like my theory. I'm definitely the guy somebody's going to take on one of those talk shows. Like, growing up, he talked a lot of shit.
Oh man. Well, this has been just I officially declare this podcast an official success. Success.
Absolutely.
I would put it up there as one of my favorites. This has been a fun conversation.
This has been
Jacques.
fun. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jacques, so among the many things that you're working on then that you want to put out there to the podcast audience is the art show, which is, what are the dates of that again?
February 23rd and 24th.
If you're real lucky, you might find out how to get a ticket for that.
Yeah. It'll be, I don't think we'll have trouble selling tickets. I'm actually in the point now where I'm trying to figure out how to not sell so many. I don't want it to be too overcrowded, but I mean, it could be. I know a lot of people.
But where should folks stay tuned to get the information when it comes out? If where will they be able to hear about it?
My social media.
Okay, and your Instagram is?
Yeah, Steady Flow, and it'll be on the website as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to get out there? Is that the big thing? Any new FLOH flavors coming out?
FLOH. Might be a new flavor I introduced at the art show.
Interesting.
Possibly.
Interesting.
Was this breaking news
Possibly.
right here?
We got some other events I'm going to do this year. I'm going to probably do a adult carnival.
Ooh.
Something like that.
That's
My daughter's turning 5 this year, and her parties are big.
You need to. What's your daughter? If anybody wants to enjoy, you need to follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, my 5-year-old is This Is Gray's World. Her parties are pretty big.
Interesting.
Her older sisters, they do such a great job with her, and she's like,
she's the queen.
She's a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But her birthday party will be huge. It'll probably be about 500-600 people at her party.
Man.
Alone.
Adorable.
Then we have some dinner parties we're going to do. We're looking at doing a movie club coming up.
And can somebody get on a list, like a
They can email us.
Email you.
Yeah, you can email us and stay in touch.
Okay.
But 2019, we want to kind of raise the bar a little bit.
Blow it out.
As far as on events and just overall adult fun.
Okay. All right. Oof.
Molly, anything on your agenda, on your plate
there's
there?
a couple things. Thanks for asking, Alex. I am not having an art show or anything like that. Not yet. I have partnered with the Chagrin Cinemas, which I'm super pumped about. And the Chamber and the cinema will be doing a Grease sing-along.
I was in Grease in middle school.
So was Alex. Who were you?
I was, I wanted to say Sonny.
Sonny.
Do you mean Kaneki?
Which one did
Kaneki was the second dude. Was
the
John Travolta's
boyfriend
buddy.
to
No, now see, my Grease experience was a pinch weird because my teacher let me write my own jokes. So it was certain lines that was supposed to be. Sonny was the main guy, right?
No, that was Danny. Danny.
Oh, I was
Zuko.
Sonny then. I was Sonny.
Who the hell's Sonny?
There was no Sonny in it.
It had to be. Hold on, I'll show.
I think you made up a character.
No, man, I might have been.
love it.
It's
You
cool.
did,
You
though.
can make your own character for
No, I'm
Grease.
going to show you.
Yes.
It might have been Kaneki. Let me see. I'm gonna
Maybe
tell
there
you
is
exactly.
Yes, that would be crazy.
There might be a Sonny in there. Wait, is it one of the lower characters or one of the main characters?
It was one up right here. Sonny. Apologize on.
I'm going to
apologize on this
Where's
podcast.
Sonny?
I'm apologizing.
Right there, Sonny.
My bad.
I apologize.
So he was not.
Oh, he was the boy. Gosh, he looks old. He was
Let
the
me Google a
boyfriend
young
to.
Sonny.
He was the T-Bird, and he was he liked.
Oh, yeah.
the girl with the pink hair.
You know what his line
No.
was? His line.
gosh.
His line
She likes
was.
to do the local thing or something like that.
Wasn't his line? Can she get me a friend? Wasn't that his line?
I don't know.
I think it was. And then he was like,
Yep,
Doink.
that's him.
"All right,
But
my bad."
They gave me Sonny's
We
role.
Oh
apologize.
yeah, that was his line. It said, "Can she get me a friend?"
Yep. I was Sonny, but she let me write all my own jokes. So it was a lot of parts in our play where it was not in the movie at all, or not even. It was kind of like just made
shout
up
out to that teacher.
and threw out stuff. And I was like the only boy in the play. All the girls that played on the team, it was two guys, me and the guy that played Danny. He was a guy that could sing, and the rest of our crew were girls because no guys went out for the play. It wasn't cool thing
Like
to do.
3 dudes and
I
lots of girls.
love
That's
it.
That's actually
Well,
good
get
numbers.
the two
That's a
of
good
you.
ratio.
But I had a great time.
The
All
two
my
of
friends
you,
were front row. All my friends were front row opening night.
The two of you
Man.
get your T-Bird jackets
I can't fit
and
mine
come
anymore, but
December 11th
it's my brother's
to
birthday.
the Chagrin Cinema, and you'll be able to sing along to the movie. So the movie will have the words to the songs. And you'll just be able to sing. So that is December 11th with Chagrin Cinema, and their bar is open because they just introduced beer and wine at Chagrin Cinemas and recliners. So what do you got going on?
Well, it's a lot of stuff, and it's all. I'm not going to go through it. You want to go to gertzberglaw.com and then start reading our blogs because there's a lot of really good information for businesses. But the biggest thing is Cover My Six. Cover My Six. Cover My Six, Jacques. You actually could probably use it for FLŌH Vodka. It is a legal audit of the 6 areas most likely to get a business sued. Right? Customers, vendors, shareholders, employees, insurance, and technology. Right? So we go in and we optimize a small and mid-sized business in all 6 of those areas. But the thing about it is that what we just started doing recently that's become really popular is we created a small business package, a startup package for businesses that can't really afford the full audit. And what we do is we go in and we give them a binder of the forms in each of those 6 areas that they can use.
Kind of audit themselves then?
Well, that they can just use. So we give them an employee handbook, a customer contract, a shareholder agreement for their partners. So we basically give them a legal operating manual. And I'm really, really, really proud of it.
So Alex's firm keeps you out of court.
We
They're
keep you
the
out of court.
opposite of other lawyers.
That's the goal.
That
We're
their goal is
proactive.
to do whatever so you can stay out of. And you weren't here, so a shout out to you because I'm now a business owner, thanks to the Gertzberg Law Firm. and it all happened within a day.
Oh, we incorporated you.
Yes, you did. And
were you happy with your service from the Gertzberg
I
Law
was
Firm?
very happy.
Good.
Very happy with my service. So thank you. But I got to shout out you the last episode, but you were not
thanks, Molly.
You were not here. I had a sub co-host. So thank you to the Gertzberg Law Firm.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, we were also selected recently as this year's class of the Weatherhead 100 upstarts. Case Western.
I don't know what that
You
means.
didn't. It was all over Facebook, Molly. I'm surprised. You must have been sick that day.
I've been a little busy with my dad for the last week.
I know. No, but that was a big deal because it's we've gotten a lot of phone calls because of it.
Good for you.
Weatherhead 100.
Good for you. I don't know what it means, but congrats.
So Case has
did
the Weatherhead.
Did they give you an amazing trophy like I did?
So the dinner's coming up, and I'm certain it will not be as cool as your trophy.
I mean, yours is hand blown from the glass asylum.
It'll be next to it, and it'll be diminutive and sad. And
so they're doing a dinner and they're giving you guys an award.
yeah. So this the Weatherhead School of Business, and they give out each year they have the Weatherhead 100 class, I guess. And it's
why is it called the Weatherhead?
I think it's the Weatherhead School of Business. And presumably that's because of Mr. Weatherhead giving them a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Weatherhead.
Mr. Weatherhead wrote a check.
Right.
I was just thinking weather.
And Mr. Weatherhead probably was a great businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Presumably,
well, obviously, because he had enough money to write a check to get his own school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jacques going to have to come back because we got a lot more to talk about entrepreneurship and about music and about art. So I think
my foundation is called GO. Stands for Golden Opportunity, but it's centered around entrepreneurship.
What's it called? Go. And where could someone find that or find information about it?
Right now, we keep it a little hush-hush, but we're about to launch a splash page.
Okay.
Last year, we donated $10,000 to Cleveland Heights High School for the kids, for the 2 groups of kids selected to start a business, and we mentor them. We've been mentoring them since on how to start their actual company.
You know what I'm thinking.
That's awesome.
And this year we're already This year we're already allocated $15,000 for the upcoming group, but it could end up being more.
And that is the key to a successful business, is giving back, and not even waiting until you've made the millions.
Yeah, because I could use that money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, trust me, I could. But
absolutely.
It has nothing to do with my growth as a company.
Right.
I would say that's the key to just being a good
human being.
Dude. Yeah, a good person is giving back and paying it forward.
Amen.
And I think we have to kind of catch the kids young.
Right.
Because I started the program solely because of how I grew up.
Yep.
Like I really was a entrepreneur, but no one taught me how to make it a real business. Right. I just hustled, made money, hustled, made money. No one said, hey, do you know anything about credit, profit loss statements? Like no one guided me. So I bumped my head plenty of times. I tell people I learned to swim as I was drowning.
Right.
And I can still taste the water. So if I can catch these kids young and teach them early, we make them give back too. We make them volunteer.
And they'll remember that too. They'll remember, I mean, just like you and Miss Watson, they will remember what that they had Jacques helping them out, and they're gonna help somebody out one day.
Absolutely.
On that note, Jacques, thank you.
You're
that was awesome.
You are so badass cool.
Thank you.
That was a really good.
You know it, so I don't have to tell you.
Thank you. Still good to hear. Thank you.
That was a great conversation. Folks, thanks for tuning in this long. Stay with us as we continue to grow this podcast. And Molly, what is it? We want to. Here's what you got to do, people.
Yes.
Do me a favor. Do Molly a favor. Do Jacques a favor. He's asking. Go to iTunes, subscribe. And
iTunes,
leave
Stitcher,
a review.
Spotify, or YouTube. Subscribe or listen to the show. Wherever you listen, please rate the show so other people can find us. You can visit us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also email us at the Best.Podcast.Ever 1 @gmail.com.
That was fantastic.
Thank
I liked
you.
the sultry voice.
I'm a
that you used there.
voiceover.
That was really
Yeah,
good.
I thought someone else was in the room.
I'm telling you. We saw her other
Please rate
personality.
the show.
That's right. That's my sexy voice.
All right, folks.
Oh, I
thank
like
you
it.
very much. We'll see you next time.
See ya.